Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Coffee with Kristen and Hills. Oh my gosh, we're almost to the end of the week.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness. This felt like a particularly long week for some reason. I don't really know why. It just did. It just felt long and cold and I don't know. But, you know, I don't think I've asked you this, and it's the reason I'm asking is because it's going to be a hot topic as well. Mm-hmm. But are you watching the Olympics?
Yes. I love the Olympics. And now we've had 2 Olympics in less than a year, and it's very exciting.
She watches it with like a gold medal around her neck.
Man, I think it's so exciting. It's so cool to see what these athletes can do. Mm-hmm. And, you know, yes, if I was really into these sports, would I be watching the World Cups of them, et cetera, et cetera?
Right.
Probably, but you know, once every 4 years, I get very into it. And
yeah.
I think it's a really cool thing. And it must be probably one of the best feelings on earth if you win to see your flag and your anthem being raised up and knowing that all this hard work mm-hmm. and dedication and sacrifice mm-hmm. and talent, mm-hmm. because I think it takes all of those things to be successful.
Especially this one after it being pushed back from the pandemic, right?
This one didn't get pushed back. The Summer Olympics got pushed back.
Summer Olympics. Well, that's how much I've been watching.
But they are in a closed loop bubble.
Yeah.
And so people who have been working, you know, and it's not just, okay, again, I am not on this level, have never been an athlete on this level, but it feels like when you're at this level, when you're successful at this level, almost anything.
Yeah.
You have a support team with you, and typically it's your family because a lot of, you know, athletes at this level are typically younger than me these days.
No.
And I think it's so sad and so tragic that their family can't be there with them.
I know. Well, and also I feel like a lot of people were saying, specifically with this one, mm-hmm. that people were getting really emotional during the opening ceremony, just because we've been through so much.
Yeah.
And just like represented something that I mean, I've missed everything, and not intentionally. I actually would have I love ice skating. Like that is,
it's so good.
I've always loved it. And I heard this group of people, it's like an incredible group of people mm-hmm. competing. And so I might have to, I'm kind of sad because I think I'm gonna have to like go back and watch, and there's something really special about watching it, you know, live. But, you know, hopefully I will get to watch some of it because I just, life, baby stuff, you know what I mean? And and I know you're doing it like after hours.
Yes.
You're willing to lose sleep to get some of the Olympics in. And
to be fair, I am also working on my computer while I'm watching it. So I'm not...
You're multitasking.
I'm multitasking.
I mean, that's how you do it now, really.
I can't just watch TV and not do anything because there's just not enough time these days.
It's real. I empathize with that in a very real, personal way. Mm-hmm. Well, we're actually going to get more into the Olympics today.
Yep.
So let's get started on hot topics.
Hot topics.
So we read an article from Insider that is titled Uncovering the Hidden Costs of the 2022 Beijing Olympics. And I mean, the costs actually aren't that hidden. They're like right in front of your face. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that China's official budget statement for 2022 Olympics was only 3.9 million, whereas in 2008, they're estimated
3.9 billion.
Oh, sorry. It's because I wrote million, and I will say whatever I write, as we've learned. I guess I can't like fathom billions, but that's still a small number, 3.9 billion.
Yes, which is still a very small number
in comparison to what the Olympics typically does cost. Mm-hmm. Because in 2008, their estimated total was around 52 billion, which I did write down. Mm-hmm. That would have been a major jump.
Yes,
52 billion to 3.9 million, but no, 3.9 billion. So I don't know where they got that number from. That's like...
The 3.9?
Yeah.
So I think it was interesting. The article had mentioned that basically the 3.9 billion is just the actual operating cost for the days of the actual event and not including any of the extra infrastructure or housing or the cost of pumping over
The snow.
500 million gallons of water, which they're diverting from farmers in the area to create snow, because although this area gets very cold, it typically only gets 25 inches of snow a year.
Right.
So it's not enough to have alpine sports.
So they were saying that the villages would be a destination for winter sports, but they're not going to be producing snow every year. So that's going to make it a little tricky to go there, specifically if you want to do winter sports. But if you want to stay in some really nice housing, the villages look like something that I imagine the metaverse having. It's like perfect and like cookie cutter. It doesn't look like a real place,
Right.
It's very nice. Very expensive though. Mm-hmm. What did it say? Oh, the villages alone cost $3.2 billion to build. So that's pretty much the total cost.
Right. Out of that, and so they aren't included in that $3.9 billion.
Right. So
neither is the bullet train that was $9.2
billion, and that connects the Olympic cities and cuts the travel from 3 hours to 1 hour. Yeah. The train looks really cool.
Looks really cool. Also looks like it could be in the metaverse with how cool it is.
Totally does. It doesn't look like it's not the MTA in New York. No. Let's just say that much.
So this bullet train, not only does it feel like it's from the metaverse, but it also has a specific car on it that is only for broadcasting and uplinking live television. So will basically only be used during this time period of the Winter Olympics.
So that money, it's sort of wasted money after this, right?
Yes.
It was like,
it's just like point in time money.
Wow.
Used.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be at the table when people make these decisions, and I want to like just hear sort of why, you know what I mean? But I mean, that probably cost a pretty penny in itself, right?
I am sure. They didn't break down that cost, but it was just an interesting point in time need that almost feels a little bit unnecessary. It feels like you should be able to uplink from wherever you are reporting from.
Right.
So it just is very interesting.
Man, it's so interesting to me how they create this entire world for the Olympics. It's like their own little like nucleus that only exists for the Olympics. And there's something like really cool about it as well.
It's cool, but it also makes you wonder, they've said that there's over 1,500 people who have been displaced just for these Olympics permanently.
Right.
Because of whether I'm sure they don't call it eminent domain, but they needed the land, and so therefore there's no longer farming happening on that land. There's something else for the Olympics happening. And then there's also farmers who have had their pastures and their farmland overtaken by solar panels and not by choice, just forced to do this. So I think that that's a very interesting, and it's China, so you don't have some of the leniences you have here in the U.S.
Safety nets in place with our legal system, right?
It's where you don't have a choice.
You know what I'm like? This just actually made me think of this. Is when the Olympics were there, and it was 2012, right?
I think 2008.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was that long ago.
I know, right?
I was actually there, and it was one of my first jobs in theater, and I was
cool.
touring with the show, and we were in Beijing, and it was right before the Olympics, and I remember that was a big talking point about how many people were going to be losing their homes, just kicked out. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I was. It's kind of sad. All right, we are back, and boy, do we have a hot topic for you.
Hot topic, hot coffee.
Hot topic, hot coffee. Necessary. So according to CBS News, Starbucks is planning to raise prices, blaming inflation. It's the third price hike since
October.
That is 3 price increases in 5 months. I mean, they're already pricey.
It's already a premium product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me is like, okay, now is the time. Go to Starbucks and purchase the overpriced to-go mug and start making that coffee at home.
Yep. I mean, I think, everybody is dealing with headwinds with inflation.
Yeah.
But it does seem a little bit tricky right now with this because of they still had a 19% increase in revenue last year to bring them to $8.1 billion.
Yeah. We want to see the statements.
So, and I saw a tweet. I don't know if this is factual. It was not part of the article. But they also gave their CEO a raise of 39%. Because they had done so well last year. And I'm not saying that CEOs should not be compensated for the hard work that they do. Right. It just seems a little funny to be raising prices
that quickly,
so quickly and degree. So many times when your profitability has gone up.
Right.
Your revenue has gone up.
It almost feels like an experiment. They're like, we're going to raise it and see if people keep coming. Oh, the numbers haven't dropped. In fact, they've gone up. Let's raise it again and see if they keep coming. Oh, I mean, I just made that up. That is not from the article, nor is that fact.
And I think it's also really interesting too is that fast food went up 8% this past year.
Yes.
Whereas groceries only went up 6.3%. And now 6.3% is a huge amount for groceries to go up in a year. But comparatively,
and fast food, that's an affordable option for a lot of people. Right. That's becoming less and less affordable. So that's really impacting people's lives, you know. So I mean, Starbucks was never necessarily the affordable option. That's more of a splurge, for people. But man, I mean, it was already
a premium product, especially if you're just getting black coffee. It's probably affordable-ish. Right. I mean, it's still it feels like a luxury item to have every day, but not that bad. But if you're
it becomes habitual too. I think if you're in a city and you're walking to work in the morning and you have like your Starbucks that you frequent with your order, your very customized order, because you know that everyone has that there. Right. It's a habitual sort of comfort. Oh, I can look forward to this in the morning. Right. It's like changing habits maybe. But
exactly. Like they know you, they have your order ready. Yeah. I had a coffee shop when I lived in San Francisco that was near me, and I would stop every morning before I went to work. Yeah. And some mornings the line would be so long, but they knew who I was, so they would have it ready for me by the time I got to the front.
That's nice.
Or there would be some times where they would have it ready for me before I got to the front, and they would just let me take it. And I just tip them the amount that the coffee was worth. And
see, I think that's great. Sweet. I think that's kind of nice when you have a regular customer like that to really pay attention and put them. Was it a chain or was it?
It was a chain.
It was.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Was it Pete's Coffee?
It was Pete's Coffee.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I just guessed that.
Yeah, you just guessed it. You got it right.
Oh my gosh, I'm a psychic.
So it was really delicious coffee, and it was great. And the funny thing is that it bought my loyalty because I would go in more than I probably would have otherwise, because it'd be like, oh, is this the morning I'm gonna get a free coffee?
Well, yeah, and I feel like that happens. It's not as common when it's a chain,
right?
Definitely because the people working there maybe don't have the authority to just do that. Right. But I think it's smart. Like that's something that they should sit down and talk about and say, if you really like, it's okay if you do this here and there. Right. Like someone. You're getting to know someone, having like, a relationship with them. You're like, oh, I know their coffee. They're here every day. It only helps the business, right?
Really? Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, they said the Little Caesars Hot and Ready is now going, it was $5. And now it's up to $5.55. So they want to keep the 5 in there. Yeah. But it has gone up. And I remember in high school, that was like a go-to. $5 for a whole large pizza? Hello.
I mean, you can't beat it.
No. Fun fact, pizza is my favorite food. So basic. It's like, what's your favorite food? Pizza.
Burritos, so.
Oh, we know that. We're going to have a burrito tutorial one day on the show. Maybe that's a wind down thing. I don't know.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is a wind down thing.
But yes, so everybody... Just prepare yourself, when you are, blindly walking into Starbucks, you're ready to make that payment, you see the statement and you're like, wait a second, what's that? Yeah, it is going up. You're not dreaming. Prices are going up at Starbucks. Quickly. Again. And I think the article even said it could happen again. So just prepare yourself.
Be prepared.
Starbucks lovers. There's a lot of you out there. I mean, I love it too.
I know.
All right, we're going to take another quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to tell you about the shows airing today. Okie dokie, we are back. So today on Elder Talk, Joe has musician Mr. Roberts on the show who performs at independent and assisted living facilities, as well as, get ready, it's a long list, church gatherings, fairs, fundraisers, class reunions, birthday parties, anniversary parties, and wedding receptions. Sounds like a busy man. He talks about his lifelong passion for music, his past performances while serving in the Army, his experience performing in retirement communities, and how music can help those battling Alzheimer's, dementia, and more. That is something to tune in for.
That is.
That is a mouthful of, that is a busy man.
I was going to say the same thing.
That is someone who loves music.
Yes. I mean, I think if it's something you love,
yeah,
it's probably pretty
and he's
easy.
sharing that passion.
And he's sharing that passion and helping people with Alzheimer's and dementia at the
Yeah.
same time. I think that's wonderful.
This sounds like an interesting episode. I need to tune into this today as well. On Options Crash Course, Dr. Jim offers management strategies for building an options portfolio. Today on Browns and Suits, we will learn about the important questions that need answering before getting your business off the ground. For example, what will it cost to run the business? Do you need financing? And what kind of infrastructure do you need to make it work? I love how they break it all down in this easily digestible way, setting everyone up for success. We love those guys over there. Thank you so much for tuning in again today for another episode of Coffee with Kim and Hills. Be sure to check us out on
Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Apple TV on your phone, on iOS or Android. So remember to invest in yourself and watch an episode today.
And we will see you next week for more episodes of Coffee with Kim and Hills.